We are talking about technology in AI, but my question is kind of a layman's question towards the emotional and psychic approach of every C level. So we know that survival of the fittest is the concept of this world, and we are talking about C level. It includes CFOs, CEOs, everything. That position is one person leading whole department. But when we are talking about a position that is CAIO, there are two things: a chief person who is managing AI for the betterment of organization. And sooner or later, this AI empowerment to that C-level position will try to penetrate the other departments, for example, the finance department, for example, executive department. So, will there be an entrenchment force or a resistance force by the other C-level departments for this position? Because this person will eventually try to comment on the things that they can be done efficiently in other CXOs domain. That's my basic question.
Good question. If I go back to what I said earlier, a bad time. I'm just paying attention to you. No, it's okay. So, there is a phrase in English that it says it's lonelier at the top. So the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. That's number one. Number two, if you hear me earlier, I said that you have to be fearless. So a transformational agenda cannot be with fear. So, and a fear at a CXO level, be that to be AIO, IO, FO, EO, NEO, that means it's a phenomena, a recipe for disaster for that organization. So, if you were listening to me earlier, I said when you are defining the North Star, right, and any organization who decides the North Star, I wish I had a whiteboard, I would have illustrated a drawing. So any organization culturally would have primarily two types of people working in an organization. People who would be willing to take a leap of faith, and there would be people who would be dragging the people who takes the leap of faith behind. Now one could argue that one is important over the other, and the answer is none, because both of them are important. Why? So if you don't take a leap of faith, that means you're not getting transformed. So it's a given. If you do believe in taking a leap of faith, and I assume, let's say, if you don't mind, I'll pick up your industry. So you are a petroleum company, and your leap of faith is that I will make ice. So barf kaise banayenge? So then there are leaders in the company who would actually hold you back, and they will control your emotions and your eagerness to fly at that height. And they said, sorry, this is not going on. So you create that equilibrium in an organization. So transformational journey, when you're getting into the CAIO position, you create that balancing act. People will get uncomfortable. देखें किसी भी जब कोई भी इंसान हो या कोई भी सोसाइटी हो या कोई भी इकोसिस्टम हो, जब वो स्टेट ऑफ डिनायल में चला जाए तो पहले तो ये डिसाइड कर लें ट्रांसफॉर्म नहीं हो. So first you need to recognize the problem. So first recognition of the problem is that yes, people will get uncomfortable. And I'll now give you an example. When we started off in technology, I don't know how. So I normally say this before I tell that you don't have to judge my age with that, right? When we started off, do you ever heard of DOS?
I've heard of it.
So you have heard of it, I have lived it. Right? So people transform. So I was a person who started his career, I had a first laptop which was a Macintosh. Apple भी नहीं उस टाइम पे कहते थे. It was a Macintosh 2E. It had two floppy drives this big, sitting outside a computer connected by a ribbon wire. Right? So when people get uncomfortable, two things will happen in an organization. And when you are getting into that state of affairs, so organizationally you need to be prepared. At a C level, you need to be prepared that there will be an outbreak. There would be leavers, there would be joiners. Now it's a risk that you need to take as an organization, that how much of that collateral damage you are okay with. So there will be people who would drag you, there will be people who will let you go, there will be collateral damage in this transformation, but you need to see what is the upside. So if the collateral damage is far bigger than the upside of a transformation, you will say, sorry, this road is closed. So when you are driving on a highway, you see some of the road, it says sign that this road is closed, right? Because it's not, it is closed. It's not a dead end in life. It is leading towards something, but the creator or the person who is developing it doesn't know how to develop it further as yet. So that's the perspective to life. So you can say it's a dead end. I say no, it is not a dead end. But the person who was developing this state of affairs has taken a break because he or she has yet to decide where to take this further. So I'm going to give it a 90-degree curve, or I'm going to give it 45-degree curve, or I'm going to take it straight through. I'm going to go under the mountain or under the ocean. So that uncomfortable zone will always come. And if, as a CXO level, they can always come together, reconnect with each other, then it is okay state of affairs. And you need to always take a step at a time. Too much of a leap of faith will be a collateral damage that you may not be able to sustain. And hence you see the difference between a culture of a fintech and a conventional enterprise. Because leap of faith, wahan pe risk reward is high. An enterprise, likes of a bank, like IBA, like Parco, like Tango, like Unilever, you name it, their transformational journey would be slightly different than a person who invented or incepted an idea and now wants to transform. So you will build a team, you will create uncomfortable zone, and a transformational journey is never comfortable. I've done 3 with my own hands, couple of them I've been part of it, none of them were comfortable. So you need to decide as being part of the team member that you will operate through your comfort zone or you will not. Coming from DHA to IBA was not comfortable. That much I can tell you. But I did. So, was I forced to? No. Was I given an option? She called and she said, would you be okay? I said, yes, I would be okay. There is a risk I would have lost my phone, there is a risk of accident, there is a risk that I would come across it. So, you just simply flip these pages and the storyline remains the same, the context changes, and this is how it continues. I hope that answers some of your questions.
Pretty much.
Thank you. So so this role, whatever title you give it, CIO or CAIO or Chief Digital or Chief Transformation or whatever, so this role will increasingly become the most important role, and all the other C levels which you mentioned will probably, in my opinion, will look at this role as a savior, or they'll all come to this role for help. And this situation is coming very quickly, right? So every other C level who's running a business will come to this role and request for so much and say all of these things I need. So it's all about coming together, all about collaborating, and when the goal, when the objective, when the target becomes common, then it's a human cycle. You become friends, you come together, and you move towards it together.
जो फैसल साहब बता रहे थे उसमें मेरे जहन में फहमीदा रियाज साहिबा के कुछ अल्फाज आ रहे थे अगर मैंने नहीं बताया तो मैं खुद के मेरे अंदर कुछ मसला हो जाएगा she said आज से 20 साल पहले she said कि about this role CAIO कुछ लोग तुम्हें समझाएंगे वो तुमको खौफ दिलाएंगे जो है वो भी हो सकता है इस राह में ये की बात हो रही है इस राह में राजन है इनमें राजन है डेवलपर्स राजन है इनमें कुछ और यहाँ हो सकता है कुछ और तो अक्सर होता है पर तुम जिस लम्हे में जिंदा हो ये लम्हा तुमसे जिंदा है ये वक्त फिर नहीं आएगा तुम अपनी करनी कर गुजरो जो होगा देखा जाएगा so
Any other question?
So my question is that on the development side, there are one full stack development, another one is the Google data technology. Google and learn stack development. So I mean, because most of the people they prepare learn is a Java-based technology because they are used to that. But Dart, Flutter technology is much better, newer, and people will get some time to adopt that technology. So as a developer, what do you think which should be the better? Either Flutter or the Merge?
Okay, so our experience, especially when we are at enterprise level, हमारा technology की अगर we are giving you a very industry perspective, we are not technology agnostic, right? So we come to a solution which gives us the fastest way to solve a problem, which is cost effective or which is growth perspective, which inculcates growth. So from industry side, yes, we don't have a agnostic preference. Yes, we go in terms of the roadmap, the technology roadmap, which our technology platforms have set. So there are certain no-goes. For example, in our company, ChatGPT, for example, is meant as a corporate. You can use it on your own, but you can't use it. Similarly, analytics with respect to certain platforms are not welcome. For example, Snowflake is not a preferred tool. We use Azure tech stack. Yes, from the technology lens, your answer, the question to your answer, again, today there is no one hand which fits all. So if you are a developer who believes in no code, you can go for no code. There are hundreds and thousands of use cases. Customers, opportunities are there for no code. If you are a structured, believe in structured databases, you can adopt SQL, Oracle, or any Snowflake, XYZ. If you prefer unstructured databases or block databases, you can think about any type of other database, MongoDB, or any other. So there is no one preference today in terms of adopting one programming paradigm on another. It's all about efficiency, a particular use case, or for example your customer, what they prefer. This is mine.
One thing that since you are in the FMC, people say that in e-commerce there is so much risk. कि order क्या अभी American lady आई order क्या आ गया. So the e-commerce side there is so much potential risk, and when you go to the market, you can check market trend or physically see it. But order e-commerce, so much risk there. So what do you think? In Pakistan, people they don't believe on credit card like this. Cash on delivery system is much better. So what do you think that what will be the next trend in our country? Whether people will believe on the e-commerce side or not?
I think अगर आप fast moving consumer goods लेंगे, especially perishable products, very short lifetime, उसमें तो e-commerce is the way to go. In fact, अगर if I give you my company's strategy, we are poised to increase e-com to 20% from 15% last year. हमारा MT और e-com एक साथ होता है जिसमें हम दोनों को साथ लेके चलते हैं because there are e-coms which are run by the MTs themselves. Carrefour, India's, they are doing their own digital commerce. Yes, in terms of high involvement products, जहाँ पे आप apparel की बात कर लेते हैं, जहाँ पे customer wants to see the product himself or try it before use, वहाँ पे yes, your point of view is very valid. Especially for example, there's a thing called spectacles. You cannot अब तो खैर बहुत दुनिया में इसमें भी काफी revolution आ गई है, उसमें वो बहुत ज़्यादा आपको AI के through आपका how will it look like on your face, it will fit or not. You have to give the image of your face for a particular, for example, piece of spectacles. But high involvement products may yes, there is an apprehension. This is not just in Pakistan, across the world, but with continuous advancement, virtual trial or experiences that products are offering, people are adopting even e-com in that, and it is continuous to be. In Pakistan, maybe a big trend more in front, especially for FMCGs. हमारे जो delivery partners हैं, they are using most of the e-coms. So we are there at every platform which is high growth, high potential awareness, चाहे food panda हो in our case for food products. Other than that, जो beauty products के लिए जो beauty की हमारी websites होती हैं, हम अपने partners के साथ continuously enhance and expand कर रहे हैं. So consumers, customers that are coming continuously are self-aware about, especially the new generation, Gen Z की बात भी, that first preferred channel is digital. And then like, of course they want to really experience center के तौर पे वो आते हैं stores पे empty में, but their first preference is to go and check everything online. अगर आपको कुछ practically high involvement वाली भी खरीदनी है, the first thing you do is check the digital space before you go and practically experience it.
If we just have a photograph that brings us to the end of our panel too as well. Thank you very much. We're going to conclude today's session right here.